Welcome back to Fast Money. We've gotten through the bulk of earnings season, but we still have some key names on the calendar for next week, including Ford, Disney, Coinbase, and more. So we wondered which of these reports the traders are watching most closely. Steven, your pick, please.
I'm going with Lyft, a much smaller player than Uber, and I'm looking specific. Well, first of all, I'm looking for a beat and raise. That would be spectacular for Lyft. Then I'm looking for a price to sales ratio. So it's under 1 times right now. If you go back to when it was above 4, that was back in 2021. The stock price was over $40. I'm looking for maybe 2x on the price to sales, a doubling from where we are now. That would get a doubling for me in the stock price. I still am looking for a mid-20s price in Lyft.
Bonawyn, your pick.
So we were just talking about portfolio beta. I'm looking at Palantir here. A couple of reasons. The intraday volatility is just crazy, so it presents amazing trading opportunities. And then if you look at the price to earnings, where are we on the risk curve? Are we still willing to tolerate and pay 200 plus times price to earnings for a name? You know, we need to see whether or not they're going to beat, raise, and guide in a way that is commensurate with that. And then lastly, just the retail presence. I think we spoke about it at length during the show in terms of the retail presence in the market, their affinity for buying dips, whether or not they still have the metal to do that if there is a miss in this particular case.
Julie Beal.
I have 3 software names that are kind of small cap, because I'm mostly interested to see how these guys are actually talking about AI, if it's still a big part of their roadmap. One is Paycom. That's a company that does payroll, HR payroll software. And I'm curious because that'll give us some insight into trends into the SMB and mid-market. Bentley works in infrastructure software, and I'm really curious how the demand for infrastructure projects, which are actually pretty important for economic growth, are doing with the level of tariff uncertainty. And then I'm interested, too, to see with our other name, what I would love to know is have a sense for Jack Henry, where we're going with regional banks, how they're doing, because that's their customer base.
Tim Seymour.
I think it's got to be AMD. I mean, think of all the focus on semis. Why are we not talking about the number 2 player? By the way, semis, since that intraday low on the 7th of April, have outperformed the S&P. And it's the kind of leadership you want to see. But we forget also that AMD's extraordinary run, say, from 22 to 24, was all about also just them taking market share in data center compute. And if you have a little bit of a PC rebound as well. I just think AMD is a value play. It's a forgotten company. And I think they have a lot to say on things we all are asking questions about.